delighted to continue our conversations with the state's athletic directors at Mark Harlan, University of Utah. Joining me once again, you and I talked I think the first week after you were hired.
That's correct.
So you've been on the job now. Let's see if I can recap your first year. Stadium expansion that Rice Eccles confirmed. Utes win Pac-12 South. Utes go to the Pac-12 championship game. Head coach and offensive and defensive coordinators signed, making them among the highest paid in the league. Are you ready for a vacation?
Well,
you've been busy.
It's been a great year, and it's not me, it's the team and an incredible group of people that work at University of Utah, coaches, staff, and of course our student athletes. But it's been a really fun year, and it's an incredible place, and we look forward to year two.
What have you learned in that? Because it's a little different. You know, I mean, you've been at some great places, but it's a little different here as the top man at a P5 school.
Well, I think the key thing that I learned is more validation of what I had heard, which is the passion that surrounds Utah athletics. I mean, folks are all in here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 98% renewal rate in football, which is remarkable. A waiting list that's now over 2,500 plus people. You know, so that's very unique across the country. Matter of fact, and a lot of conversation going on about attendance issues in college football. Yeah. That is not a problem here, and that's because of our incredible fans.
I want to read a quote. This is great. This is Dick Tomey, a man that you were very close to who passed away. He said, if you're going to hold people accountable, you've got to love them too. Yeah. And you said you live by that. Explain what that means and how that's translated up here at Utah.
We are, I think, a product of our mentors and the people around us. And certainly Coach Tomey said, listen, if you're going to ask people to do extraordinary things, you have to treat them extraordinarily too. And I think that's my philosophy, and getting to know people here at Utah, it's easy to love them. I mean, there's some incredible people that I work with, blessed to, and so I think as they get to know me and we get to know each other, I think it's just going to continue our process of doing a lot of great things for Utah.
It almost sounds like another version of, well, not tough love, but maybe good cop, bad cop, whatever, but it sounds like you've got the bases covered. I love this time of year. I know you probably love this time of year. We're getting into football, fall. It's just absolutely great. Expectations are huge on this team. Granted, maybe from the fans, maybe from the media, I get that. What are they from the athletic department office?
Well, if you look at our football program and to get the kind of publicity we're getting right now and accolades, I think personally it's a time to really reflect on how far the program's come. To be in a situation where you're picked to go to the Rose Bowl, which we were honored to receive a few weeks ago at Pac-12 Media Day, is a moment where I think you have to just catch your breath and say, wow. I mean, you know, this community knows better than I how far we've come and what Coach Whittingham and his group have done. Now, that doesn't take away from the work that has to be harder today than it was yesterday, and so on and so forth. But I think it's a moment to reflect on all of it. The games get real here very soon, and all of that will be in the rearview window. But I think it's really a tribute to the overall success of this program and everyone's support.
I think it's interesting you mentioned that prediction. And I saw one that had Utah and Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. I'm thinking, oh, if Urban Meyer had still been the coach, that really would have been something, because of course he was here. So no question the expectations are there, but as you said, they are earned. Is that part of what went into your decision with regards to Coach Whittingham's contract, which, by the way, folks, is a great contract. It's even better after retirement, I think, but it's pretty good. And his coordinators.
Yes, I mean, Coach Whitt, to me, as I said before, this was a no-brainer. I mean, if you look at the overall program, wins and losses, of course, are a part of that, but just the academic success, the community success, what he means not only for football, this athletic department, and this university, I mean, it's a no-brainer to do what is absolutely right. We worked through that kind of quietly near the end of the year, very easy to do.
That's good.
And
you don't hear that very often.
No, he's just a great person to work with. We have a great working relationship. Kyle Brennan, our great deputy athletic director, worked on that as well. And so he deserved that. And then as we looked at his overall staff, you know, and he's the first to say you're as good as the staff around you as well, there's just some special people on that football staff that he believed strongly that we needed to reward. And so that's what we did. You know, investing in football, I've always believed, is an investment in the overall department.
Oh, no question.
And so as we do these things, you know, that's what we believe will happen. And certainly, you know, what's going on right now and the excitement is proof to all that.
Well, you talk about what's going on right now and the excitement. I'll tell you what's going on right now. Everybody's getting hyped up for the BYU game.
Yes, sir.
You experienced it for the first time last year at the end of the season, not being from the area. What did you learn in a hurry about that rivalry?
I learned that if you do 8:30 kickoffs at night in the snow, you get a lot of emails. That's a whole other question.
I forgot about that.
That was part of the week. But
well,
then,
it's 8:15 this year, but that's in August.
But that's their game, right?
Yeah,
So call Tom. Don't call me. The game, I thought, had a lot of passion to it, a lot of energy. You know, obviously a weird situation for us coming off clinching the South.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
yeah.
our guys responded and made the adjustments, and we came out of there with the win. I didn't realize until I talked to Whit about this a while back that this is the first time Utah's ever opened with them, and I would have thought that would have happened, but then you think about it and that makes sense. So it's new for us, it's new for them. We're excited to play the game. I think Coach Witt's line to it that I heard recently makes sense. Ask me after it, how it goes, and I think there's a lot of truth to it. But it certainly provides focus for everybody in the department, starting with our student athletes when you got your rival coming out of the gate.
We researched it. They actually opened against each other in 1896.
I missed that.
And you were there. It was called BY Academy, so it wasn't even BYU. But you're right. Which leads to my next question. Do you like that? And you actually open, I want to say 2020 and 22.
I think that's right, Dave. Yeah.
Against BYU. Do you like that, or maybe ask you after the game?
Again, we'll ask after how it all goes. I'm sure Tom or I will have an opinion, and Kalani and Kyle too. But you know, it's been exciting. It's certainly the talk of the town. You know, I think what we want to do is avoid what happened last year. I don't think that was great. So we want to put it in the beginning, if it's the first game or the second or third game, but as long as it's in that early part of the season.
I love it personally, because as you pointed out, it's generating a lot of talk. When it's later in the season, it generates the hype and the talk for 4 or 5 days.
Yes.
Now it's been going on the entire. I'm seeing spring
There's
ball.
no question. I've been asked about it. I know Kyle has. The guys have. There's no question about that.
The contract, I believe, is through 2004. Right? Or, sorry, 2024 at this point.
Right.
You've got Arkansas and Houston as non-league games right after that. Are you going to be able to fit them in, or would it be one of those cases where you have to take another break? Or
well, I mean, the Arkansas game is way out there beyond the contractual times. I think Houston is maybe around. I don't have it right here in front of me. We're going to continue to play BYU
one way or another.
We're just going to continue to do it. If there is a year or two that makes sense for us, it makes sense for them, then Tom and I will have those conversations. But our intention is to continue on with this rivalry.
It's an interesting dichotomy, because it might be even more intense for the fans, but if you look at the video after the game, what are you seeing? You're seeing players from both teams hugging each other,
absolutely,
shaking it. They know each other.
Well, they do. They grew up together. The coaching staff, we all know, very documented, are not just colleagues. They're good friends. And then from an administrative side, we're always bouncing stuff off each other. I mean, we're all in this for the collective good, graduate young people, win games, and be great for our universities. So we have a lot of commonalities now. When we play each other in multiple sports, we'll put that aside and get after each other.
That doesn't happen in I don't see, softball fans yelling at each other. But anyway, you did add Arkansas, by the way, which is cool. First SEC team, I believe, that will ever come to Rice Eccles. I asked Tom this. What's on your bucket list of scheduling, if you will? Have you thought about that?
Well, we don't have a lot of openings in the near future, but what I've noticed with my colleagues in scheduling is now you're going way out. I mean,
I've seen them scheduled for 2030. I'm like, am I even going to be
around? First you used to laugh at that, but now you're like, wait a minute, you don't want to miss out. I think someone on my staff said when we play Arkansas here in Salt Lake, it's the 4th graders right now that will be playing in that game. But the excitement that day, if you think about
that's crazy.
But
you have to, though.
You have to be ahead of it, and we're continuing to look at Power 5 schools that make sense for us going forward. We thought an SEC team would be fun to work. I'm very close with their athletic director. Relationships matter. We talked about it, and we came to terms. And so, we're continuing to have conversations with other schools, just trying to make it all work.
That's awesome. All right, well, we got a lot more to talk about. We're going to do that in part 2 of my conversation with Utah AD Mark Harlan. We'll do that tomorrow night on Talkin Sports. You stick around?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
let's
Thanks.
do it.